7 yards in that one.
Play action to him. Goff floats, Cup downfield. What a throw! Cooper Cup. Goodbye. Touchdown Rams.
Incredible.
Wide open. Wide open. And Smith. What a way to do it. All right, Carissa. And here's Todd Gurley going outside. Gets the first down inside the 10. Dives into the end zone. For a touchdown. Breeze gives it to Kamara. He's got a huge opening. And he's able to get past the secondary. Take off for his third touchdown of the game.
Oh man, Sunday's coming up and we got a lot of good games to talk about. So I'm going to do a couple. I got 3 games I want to talk about. The Saints and Rams, the Ravens, Steelers, and of course, the Packers and Patriots. We're going to start with the Saints and the Rams, so let's do it. Oh boy, here we go. We got the Saints, we got the Rams, NFC matchup against the 2 hottest teams right now. This is a possible NFC Championship preview. We got these 2 teams right here. The Rams 8-0, best team in the league, most complete team in the league. And we got the New Orleans Saints with the most efficient offense in the league, led by Drew Brees, who is looking legendary as always. The 7-1 New Orleans Saints. They are going to face off with the Rams this Sunday. What I got to say for it? First, to start up about a couple key right matchups. We got, we're going to have Drew Brees versus Jared Goff. Who's going to play better? We expect Drew Brees, obviously. We know what Drew Brees brings onto the table. I think he has career high in completion percentage at like 78. He's always great. He doesn't throw interceptions. In fact, his first interception was last week against the Vikings. First interception of the season was last week against the Vikings. You know what the Saints offense brings to the table. You know what Kamara brings to the table. You know what Ingram brings to the table. You know what Michael Thomas brings to this table. I'm sorry, I'm just excited. But you know what they're bringing to the table, and you know they have these plays right there. They are going to come ready. They want that crown. Last week could have been taken away. The Rams could have lost their perfect record by Aaron Rodgers, but Ty Montgomery had his own freaking plans. That's why he's with my squad now. But we're not going to talk about that. But yeah, here it is right there. Undefeated record right now. The Saints have a chance to take sole possession of first place. Sole possession of first place in the NFC. Win this game, and they should be recognized as the best team in the NFC and pretty much the best team in the league. You gotta look out, there's a lot of matches. On the Rams side, Jared Goff, he's playing at a high level. He's an MVP candidate. He's maybe not be the top, but he's an MVP candidate. You have Todd Gurley. You have Brandon Cooks. It's a great matchup. The Rams defense, they're going to be great. They're still struggling with injuries, but they're still great. Led by Aaron Donald. You know what he brings. Sue's on that team. They are beastly. They will be trying to come after Breeze. They will be trying to get these guys off the field early, so expect that. This is going to be a matchup. It's going to be a high-scoring game. I know these 2 have good defenses, but it's not going to be able to stop these elite offenses. I see Drew Brees putting up at least 30 on these dudes, and I can see the Rams putting up at least 30. It's a tough call to make. It really is a tough call. There's so many things I want to go back into this game, but I want to wait until I actually see this game. There's so many matchups I want to see right there. I want to see who's going to be on Michael Thomas. I want to see who's going to try to stop Todd Gurley. I want to see what pressure packages are they going to bring to get to Drew Brees, who, for the most part, hasn't really been sacked. He's the least sacked quarterback. How are they going to bring pressure up at the front with Sue and Donald? How are they going to get to this quarterback? It's so many things I want to see right there, man. They are looking good. The Rams are looking good. The Saints are looking good. They've got a lot of great players there, and I cannot wait to see this go down. With that being said, my prediction. I'm going to go with the New Orleans Saints to give the Rams their first loss of the season. A big part of this is because we've seen what the Saints have been able to do. They have gotten 2 tough wins these last 2 weeks. They faced off against my squad when they were actually playing like a playoff team. My squad, that #1 defense right there, they put up 17 points in the second half against that tough defense. And it wasn't like they were burning them. No, they grinded the clock. They wore down our defense and took advantage of every weakness that Jimmy Smith presented to them. They killed us in the fourth quarter. Time of possession, they murdered us in the second half. They grinded that clock down. And I know what they brought to the table. And you saw that against the Vikings, man. That game looked so easy for them. And with Kirk Cousins throwing the pick six, basically sealing the game, there was not much for them to do. Sean Payton as an elite offensive coach, and you know what he brings as a head coach. You know what Drew Brees brings as a head coach. They're going to be going after it. I have to pick them. Meanwhile, on the Rams side, I cannot pick them because of what possibly could have happened with the Packers. Now, granted, they're still an elite team, but they are a slow team to develop. I brought this up. The Rams take a half to get hot, to get on fire, to get warmed up. In the first half, a lot of games, they tend to play slowly. And if you're down against the Rams, you're probably going to lose to them in the second half. But the second half comes up, and all of a sudden they're on fire. All of a sudden Goff's warmed up. All of a sudden Gurley's warmed up. And they're getting points. And they're just scoring touchdowns. And it's just amazing. They can beat you in so many ways. And that's what makes this Ram team so dangerous. But I saw some weaknesses last week that the Packers defense was actually able to expose. Even though they didn't play the best game. But they were doing enough to try to keep them in the game. And from some of those weaknesses I saw on the offense, I know with an efficient offense like the Saints, they're not going to make those mistakes. And you know they're trying to incorporate some other trick plays there. So I'm looking at this Saints team. I'm looking what Drew Brees is doing. I'm looking what Sean Payton's coming up with. And I got to go with the Saints. I believe they're going to get this win. Oh yeah, one last thing I forgot to mention was Cooper Kupp for the Rams. Now, I didn't actually put him in earlier on. I wanted when I was talking about the Rams because, again, you know, he's been injured and I'm not 100% sure he's a go for Sunday. So I don't want to say, watch out for Cooper Kupp because you know how dangerous he can be. If he plays, he will be dangerous. And that's another weapon to add. But if he's not there, that is going to hurt the offense of the Rams just a little because, you know, they have so many weapons there. They are very explosive. But Cooper Kupp adds to this offense. Now, if he plays, this changes my prediction score, which I haven't given out yet. But if he doesn't play, then I still have the Saints readily winning. Let's assume he plays. If he plays, I see the Saints winning this 35-31. If he does not play, I see the Saints still winning it 35-27. It's not a huge gap, but I do believe he will be late in the game. He will be able to tie it up. If it's like 31-24 late in the game, not 31-24, like 28-21, I can see him tying it up. Then I can see him tying up to 28-28, and then it's a field goal battle, 31 for the Rams. He helps him get the lead, and then Drew Brees wins the game on the game-winning touchdown. That's kind of how I see it, because I see them getting to 35 points. If that's how it is, I see it to be 35-31 if Kupp is there, 35-28 if he's not playing. That's all I got for this. Let's move on to the next one.